guys and have others outside? All right, questions?
Fire away. Just for our side, I'm happy we got out of spring healthy. For the most part, we didn't have any major issues. I think we got out pretty healthy today. Spring games are wonderful. It's a great chance for us to showcase to the great fans that we have. But from an evaluation standpoint as a coach, we've been looking at 14 other practices, and this is a small piece of it. So I thought overall it was good. I would have liked to seen the red team come out with a little more fire and execute a little better at the beginning. They did some good things, but I don't think it was consistent enough. Other than that, there was good plays and there was bad plays, which is just about any spring game. But overall, with the entirety of spring, I'm fairly pleased.
This was fans' first time seeing Luke McCaffrey. Where does he kind of leave the spring in your mind?
Well, just in general, we feel better about the quarterback position we did a year ago. I think we have better depth. I think we have better talent. We're going to have a little more experience. We were as young as you could be last year at that spot by the time the season hit. Adrian's clearly, a top player in the entire country. Noah did some really good things today, and that's what we've been seeing all spring. And all three of the other guys did some good things, made a couple mistakes here and there, and there's a learning curve there. But I feel good about that room in general, and we'll let the competition stay open all the way through fall.
Has Noah been that smooth and that good throughout your spring camp?
Yeah, looking all the way back to last fall, I kind of felt bad in the Bethune game even with Noah because that's what we've seen Noah do, inside our program since he came back to Nebraska. Kind of in that Bethune game, I'd have left him in with the ones and let him operate a little better in that game. Sometimes it isn't just about the quarterback. It always looks like the quarterback. Sometimes you get more blame as a quarterback when things don't go well, right, Tom? Sometimes you get more praise when things do go well. But Noah's a good player, and I think the fans got to see a little bit of that today. If we had to play a game today, he'd be number 2. But like I said, every position, the competition is going to stay open through fall, and the other guys have done good things too. So nobody's safe in their position until we hit the first game.
That performance from the defense, is that about on par with what you've seen all spring?
Actually, I think the offense did better today than sometimes during spring. It was a good performance by the defense, not the best I've seen this spring. There's been times where we couldn't move the ball at all this spring, which is a good sign for our defense.
Coach, what do you think of Miles Jones and Jalen Bradley there on the white team? How did you make it their performance today?
Well, again, that's tough sledding when you're playing on a team where the other team has more of the guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays, and I thought those two guys did a good job. I thought several guys on the white really stepped their game up and competed. I won't be able to say exactly until I watch the tape and review it. I was just a casual observer watching guys, but I was pleased with a lot of the performances that I saw.
As you start to go down to some of the young guys on defense, where do Casey Rogers and Garrett Nelson sort of fall? Both seem to be flashing with some plays.
Especially with those new guys, and Casey's been here a while, but he's just getting his feet wet. Garrett just got on campus. It's really hard to evaluate them until they completely know what they're doing. Once they know what they're doing and they're not making mistakes, they're more comfortable, then it's easier to evaluate them compared to the other people with their position. But both guys had a really good spring and have set themselves up to be right in the mix come fall.
How much gap do you feel like there is between the number 1 and number 2 offensive lines? They both seem to move the defense a little bit at times today. Is there much of a difference there? Is there more depth than maybe had last year?
I think we have more depth at most places than we had. The 1-0 line did good at times. We need to finish better. There was a couple of times their hole was there, and if we just finish our block a little better, you crease it. And the margins in football are real small, but I want to keep getting more aggressive and gaining one more blade of grass to help us pop runs. There's a little more of a separation between 1 and 2 right now than I'd like to, and a lot of those guys that are on the 2 line are going to keep hopefully competing and pushing the guys on the 1 line. but we need more depth there and more guys to develop there as well.
Where do you go from here with the running backs, and how much of what you saw this spring factors into the next couple months because of how many changes there will be on the from your personnel standpoint?
Yeah, running back's the position that's probably going to change the most come fall with 3 new guys coming in. Obviously, Mo didn't participate today, and we'll see what happens with that. But that room's going to look entirely different. So it's really up to the guys coming in and how quick they can learn it to see how much in the mix they are. We're thin at that spot right now and hoping that reinforcements are on the way, and we'll let all those guys compete against each other. But there's some good things happening. Wyatt Missouri had a great spring for us and been a consistent, reliable guy. And Coach Held's going to have his work cut out for him to try to teach those guys in a rapid fashion.
What was the spring game like for you compared to last year's experience?
A little less emotional for me this year than last year. That was pretty special coming out of the tunnel. It had been a long time for me. You know, year 2's when you're getting everything built and trying to get it built. Year 2's just easier for a head coach. I don't lose my voice at practice near as much. There's not as many details I have to fix. It was fun just watching today, watching the assistant coaches operate, watching some of the guys play well. There's still a lot we need to fix. We're not a finished product by any means. We're just somewhere in the process of getting the whole thing built the way we want it to. But my job gets easier the farther down that road we get.
How fun is a day like this for you? It's almost like a family reunion, number of guys that seem to come back every year for something.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some guys that I haven't seen in 2 decades. Michael Booker just grabbed me on my way off the field, and obviously he was a big part of a lot of really good teams around here. I haven't seen him in years. I saw Eric Strickland yesterday. I haven't seen him in years. Just guys that it's special for me to see because they're part of this brotherhood. And I love having those guys back because, one, I care about them and they care about me. But I also like to see have our players see those guys back and see what it means to be a Husker football player and see how it goes with you your whole life and see how the fans still know who you are. There really is no place like Nebraska as far as that goes. If you're a great player here, people are going to remember you the rest of your life. And those guys are still pulling for the guys playing today. It's awesome to kind of continue that fraternity and have the guys come back and teach this group what it's supposed to look like.
Did you expect this spring from your defense, or did it surprise you how much? You said they dominated some practices. Did that surprise you?
I wouldn't say it surprised me how well the defense did. I was pleased, maybe more pleased than I expected to be. They got a lot better, and they played freer. They ran around a lot better. I think almost position by position I saw improvement. And that being said, it's kind of supposed to be that way. And as long as I've been a part of running this offense as a receiver coach or coordinator or head coach, defense is always ahead in the spring. And even fall camp, the defense is ahead. And most of the time through spring balls, we would get our butts kicked by the defense and think we weren't going to have very good offense that year, and we'd have a top 5 offense in the country. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here, but that's kind of standard operating procedure for spring balls. Thanks, guys.
Start players, Xavier Martinez. How do you feel, Adrian, about just the offense where you stand headed out?
Yeah, well, I think overall, over the course of the spring, we did a good job. Obviously, some of the ways to go, some things to clean up. And today, too, you know, we missed on a few drives there that I was in, and some of the other guys as well, you know, a few mental errors here and there. But I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of how hard they worked this spring, and, you know, I'm excited for what's to come in the fall.
You guys talk about as quarterbacks in that little huddle after the game. I mean, it's not easy when there's only one ball and one guy can be out there at once. But how much of a brother are you guys?
So I'll tell you a story from the game. So Matt Masker was in, and he threw a deep ball down the sideline, and they scored. And he plays for the white team, and me and Noah are going nuts on the red sideline. It was tough because technically we're on the red team, but we root for each other in all cases. And I'm definitely thankful to be a part of such a special group. And a few of Coach Verduzco's family members had actually come to the spring game, and they were there in our post-game huddle, and they fit right in. We just feel like a family, and it's definitely a special bond I think we all share.
Did any of the red players stare at you, give you dirty looks or anything?
I kind of realized it midway through. I was kind of running down the sideline, and I was like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I tried playing it both ways. It was tough.
Walk us through what you saw on that touchdown throw to Jerron.
Yeah, well, it was a rollout. We had a tight end coming from the opposite side who was kind of a skim route. And, I thought I was going to have to hit him quick. But defense played it pretty well. They had a guy come down on there. I had to come back towards the sideline that I thought was covered. I had Cade Warner dragging and then Jerron Woodyard dragging. And, I made a quick move on David Alston that I think I did get sacked on. And threw it to Jerron, and he was the open guy, and he made a great play.
Much better do you feel like you've gotten it thrown on the run since the last game you guys played in Iowa? Verduzco said you've worked on it. How much better do you think you've gotten?
Yeah, well, that's just a part of what we do every day. Coach Verduzco hammers that home, throwing on the run. I know you guys have seen it probably, but every day before games, it's just a part of our everyday life almost. And I think just naturally over the course of time, I've gotten better. It's something I've been focusing on too as well.
There's been a lot of talk throughout the spring about the defense. What have you noticed as a quarterback has changed with that group this spring?
Yeah, well, it definitely gets me excited and, frustrated sometimes during practice, but I think they're a lot more confident. They have a little bit more swagger to them right now, and, they're playing really tough, really hard. So something exciting definitely for our team.
Oh, it's just a scrimmage, but do you say anything to Luke, who's playing in front of a crowd like this for the first time? And then what did you think of the way he played?
Of course, yeah. Well, we talked before the game, and I think he's a pretty well-composed kid who's going to be able to handle it. But, of course, the first time you go out there in front of 90,000, there's not a whole lot that can really prepare you. But I think he did a good job. I really did. He made some real nice throws, some good plays. And he controlled what he could. I think he did a solid job out there. And obviously, we're going to go back as a unit and watch the film and make corrections from there.
Do you see like a parallel between yourself and Luke just in terms of play style and kind of being a young player taking on that responsibility?
Yeah, I've definitely tried to share my wisdom from my years' experience here and, hopefully influence him in a good way. I think he's going to be a really good player for us.
Anything else for Adrian? Adrian, you mentioned the defense and the strides that they made. Today wasn't the best game, but they looked even better. Is that a testament to the unit as a whole, being that it's probably tougher to do your job than it was last year to do your job, even though you've made strides yourself? Is that assessment accurate?
I would say that's fair. The defense has definitely been doing a good job all spring. And Coach is right. They had a good day today, but they've had better days too throughout the spring, and I think it's what we strive for. Iron shaping iron. When the defense is playing really well, it forces the offense to step up too. So I hope they stay on that path, and it'll help us as an offensive unit get better.
Adrian, you're obviously in a different spot than you were a year ago coming out of spring. So how does that change what the next 3 or 4 months are like for you? What kind of goals do you set between now and August?
Yeah, well, honestly, it doesn't change a whole lot for me. I think the mentality's always been the same, and especially in our quarterback room, it's about competition. It's about staying focused on our task. What can we do to make this team better? And I think as long as I remain hungry and have that same frame set, I think we're going to be in good shape. It doesn't change for me each season. I want to have the same approach.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Andrew.
Ryan Daniels, next.
Questions? During spring scrimmage at a stadium like that, did it meet your expectations?
It kind of exceeded it. That's probably the most fans I've seen in the stadium my whole time in college. You know, a lot of fans barely packed, and it's just a spring game, so I can only imagine what it feel like for a real game.
The day like today really solidify kind of why you made this move for your season.
Oh yeah, it was real nice to come out there and see that. You know, coming over here, I really didn't know exactly what to expect, but just being out there with my brother and with the team and just seeing all the fans, it was something special.
You played with some good teams. Where does this defense coming out of spring stand as you think about some teams you've been on? How do you feel about where you're at right now?
We're really good, like really good. The teams I played on that was really good. They had a lot of leaders out of the older guys, but on this defense, there's leadership all around. You know, it's a lot of guys holding older guys accountable, and same vice versa. So I felt it's a real good balance of everybody. You know, keeping everybody right.
You touched on this a second ago. What was the feeling to finally be on a football field for an actual game with your brother again?
It's special. I'm not, like, that's all I don't know. It's just a good feeling just seeing my brother in the same color jersey again, being on the sideline with him, you know, coaching him up, him coaching me up, you know, giving each other tips, calming each other down when we get hit, you know, it's something special.
Did you say anything to him before the game?
Just throw him the ball out, told him we own it. You know, that's what we do. We just go out there and told him, let's make sure we have fun like we've been doing all spring.
Did he say anything?
Same stuff. You know, more vulgar words, but
How much do you like this defensive line? And I feel like the top 6 guys, I mean, it seems like you guys really kind of built a pretty good chemistry together.
oh yeah, it actually started like right when I touched down. You know, everybody is very open and very vulnerable with one another. Not many secrets. Everybody knows everything about each other, so it's a lot of trust and it's a lot of loyalty amongst us. I came in, they came in, they open arms. You know, I came in, just everything just gelled right together, and then just being here working hard and seeing people working just as hard as I am, it really made me want to put more out there. You know, so I feel like that played a huge role in just us all coming together.
How does this experience kind of stack up for you? You know, in terms of when you first arrived at Oklahoma State, just how different or how much, or even how similar is this kind of experience for you then?
It's when I got to Oklahoma State, my freshman year, it was already established, and it's kind of the same here. It was like, you know, their culture had been established already, and then I feel like maybe coming here, I'm in the transition of them finding their identity now, and it's really humbling just to be able to be a part of it and be a part of the team. You know, the startup of a dynasty once again.
You notice anything different with this culture compared to the previous ones?
I just know like, Oklahoma State. It was really. We weren't party at all. I just knew that the defense and the offense, you know, we interacted with each other, of course. But it was mostly, you know, defense really stuck with defensive players and same with the offense. But here, you know, one team, one heartbeat. Even in the locker room, you know, there's not a D-line section, not a cornerback section. Everybody locker is mixed and mingled. So I feel like here, that's one thing that's really special is how everybody is, you know, so close. You know, you got DBs hanging out with linemen, you got offensive linemen hanging out with linebackers. I think it's beautiful.
In particular, you'd like to, I mean, now you've seen 15 practices of return ball, so what's next for you between now and
Just getting a better feel for the whole defense. I know this spring, I was really trying to get a hold of the defense, like my position as a defensive line, you know, working in, working nose, trying to get my plays down. Now it's time to see the whole scheme of the defense, try to understand, you know, the coverages and where the linebackers feeling it. So I feel like that's my next step is trying to understand the full defense instead of just the D-line.
Anything else for Darian?
Up against the offense, 15 practices. Anybody on that offensive line really feel like you can handle, which one you really look forward to competing against every day?
Trent is just every day he picks out something that I beat him on, and then the next day it won't work. So that's one thing that he really feels great at. It's like he'll find one thing that I'm really good at, and he'll work on stopping it. And it makes me go in my bag deeper, you know. It makes me better, you know, him coming after my best moves and stopping him. All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Mo Berry next. We'll have Mo, and then we'll have one more player after Mo, and others outside. Go ahead, questions.
What do you think this defense really accomplished over 15 practices? What kind of sum up the whole spring?
I think we've become more consistent as a defense. I just love how good we did versus the past this spring. I know as like for myself, I think I added that part in my game. I think I'm better in zone coverage, better in man coverage. Still got some things to clear up in man coverage as seen today, but zone coverage and how we handling our issues and understanding issues and the particulars of our defense is what we accomplished this year. You know, we're just a smarter football team, smarter defense, and that's going to pay dividends in the season.
You were so used to playing with Dedrick for all those years. How do you feel like you've done chemistry-wise with Colin or whoever then next to you?
It's all about trust, and I always trust Dedrick to make the right calls, to bail me out if I didn't know some, or just and he always trusts me to bail him out and things like that. So it's two linebackers, it's two quarterbacks. We have to set the defense. We have to set call out issues and maybe use some tools and things of that sort. But I just think it's trust. So I have trust in Colin. He's trusting me, and we hang out outside the football. And I just think it really seems the same, honestly.
How much progress has he made just technique-wise being now at the same position for a while?
It's comfortable for him. He's playing fast, and that's what you want in your inside linebacker. Diagnose the play and just and shoot through gaps. Know your issues and coverage and things of that sort, and that's what he's doing. So it's real good to see.
What's the task for the defense now that you're in spring? What do you guys have to accomplish going into the fall?
I think since we understand our issues more and things like that, I think now is we have to play fast and we have to play consistently just like that every time we hit the field, you know. And we got to come on the field thinking that we can be the best defense in the Big Ten. And that's where it's at now. We got so much better throughout the spring, and we know we could be a great defense. And now it's just every time we hit the field, it has to be like that. And when we come to that first game here, we have to show that, and that's what's really the goal. What I have to prove to myself, I have to make critical plays for my team. I have to make those plays that are going to win us big games and put us in Indianapolis in December. And that's what matters. And that's the player I have to be every game, and that's the pressure I put on myself. And that's what counts. So whatever number you have in mind, whatever accolade it may be, that don't matter to me. I want to be in Indianapolis come December. I want to be competing for a Big Ten championship and a national championship.
Who do you think the U is at the secondary level? Who's the guy that's saying what you're saying right now at that back end?
I would say D-Cap. I think he understands me. You know, when we recruited him, I was his host, and we came in. I chose him because he has similar mindset to me. He's been through the ups and downs, and he understands how to fight adversity. So I trust him, and I feel like he has the fire. He plays with her, and he don't let mistakes make him. He just go out and ball, and that's a person who's just like me. I feel like.
You've had Eric Shenander as a DC for more than a year now. What have you learned about him, and how would you describe him now, having been under him as long as you have?
I think since coming in college, since high school, I never felt so comfortable with a defensive coordinator like I do with Coach Shenander. I know he has mad respect for me, and I just love playing for him. When I go on that field, I want to make him proud. And it just is a great feeling to have that kind of be comfortable with your defensive coordinator. Because a lot of times it's not like that, more of a business mindset. But I think we have that relationship.
You guys motivated that there was so much talk about offense around here, this crossing offense.
Mhm.
Is that pull you guys on your side a bit?
Oh yeah, it's the Big Ten and then it's Nebraska. The defensive records we have here are like untouchable. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of great defenders that came through here, and when the light is off of the black shirts a little bit, that makes you kind of energized and ready to prove that hey, this is a defensive program now, and that's what we trying to do come this season.
Anything else from Mo?
What emphasis for you guys this offseason has been stopping the run better than you did last year? How does like anything else help you?
Oh, he could throw them around like they're rag dolls. So that's what you need up front at that nose guard. I mean, that's as simple as it get. He has to be able to gap, get off the bump and rub and stuff like that, and just make plays, or just devastate that center so much that it makes it easy for me to make plays off of.
All right.
Thank you.
One more player in here, Austin Allen from the offense.
No, it's awesome. That quarterback's making an emphasis on throwing the ball to tight ends, and gotta love that as a tight end. So, quarterbacks did a great job of finding us today.
How much do you feel like you and Kurt in particular are ready to take that next step this year after this spring?
Yeah, spring ball was especially beneficial to us because, Jack being down with a shoulder injury allowed Kurt and I to step into a little bit of a bigger role all throughout spring ball. I think we did make a big step for the tight end room, and when Jack gets back, I think we'll be a really lethal group.
How much have you seen Adrian continue to grow as a leader of the offense?
Oh, especially this spring ball. Coach Frost is really challenging him to be one of the leader for the offense, and he's really stepped in that role really well. And you can see it every day. Sometimes the offense comes in and have a little sluggish Monday practice. Adrian's there picking us up. He's taking big steps into being the leader that we need on the offense.
Even on days where the defense won this spring, you allow yourself to kind of take a big picture view of like this could be pretty good for this football team. The way they're progressing and how that's working.
Yeah, for sure. As an offensive unit, you go into practice and from the big picture, looks like you didn't have a very good day, but you watch film, and it's one guy's technique that makes the play look like it's a busted play. You fix one little detail, and the play's off and running, off to the races. And so there's a lot of times in Monday, Wednesday, Friday practices this year, we're so close to being perfect, so close to being a team that's going to score on every drive no matter what it is. And this spring ball, we really dialed in on those details, and come fall camp, we'll get those tweaked out, and we'll be a great football team.
Austin, you were out there some with Noah, I think. Can you speak to how he's progressed and the comfort level that he seems to have now in comparison to when he didn't know if he was even going to be playing last year?
Yeah, I've known Noah since 6th grade, playing basketball together, and seeing him grow into a leader to be a quarterback here at the University of Nebraska is tremendous, seeing his growth. He definitely, any person that comes to Nebraska, there's a little bit of nerves that comes with it. You're on the big stage now, and Noah's handled it really well. He got a little bit of a time down at UCF playing, but when he comes up here, he kind of carried it right on over. He didn't really see many nerves, didn't see many mishandle the ball just because for worries, so to say, but he's grown a lot, and his spring ball has been really beneficial to him and to everybody.
Do you have a sense of how much it means to him to play here?
Oh, for sure. Playing basketball with him in 6th grade, you always think, oh, we're going to be playing basketball at the next level, and here we are down the road, we're playing football together. So it's been really nice to get to know Noah as a teammate through all these years.
How important is this summer now for the team just to keep it going and obviously take that next step in August?
Yeah, we took a big step here in the spring, and summer is going to be so important for us. We already know our schedule for summer, and we already know we got to get the work done that we that we left here in the spring. But like I said, we took a big step in the spring, and here we are going to take another step in the summer, and we take a step by step until we get there.
A spring scrimmage, what was it like with the first responders sort of lining the way when you guys came out of the tunnel and that had the state flag and all that? That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, throughout the past couple of weeks, seeing the state come together, it's amazing. Seeing all those first responders and knowing all the work they do for this state, and there's no feeling like it running out because, I mean, my dad's a state trooper, and he gets called out to some weird stuff like that, and the time it takes away from your family's one eyes, I mean, props to them. I mean, it takes a different kind of man, different kind of woman to do that job, and I really appreciate them for doing that. And what the state's been through, it's been awesome to see us come together as one state, one heartbeat.
Anything else for Austin?
Thank you.
There might be a couple guys out back yet still, but we're done in here, so thanks.